I've always understood Mobileye's advantage to be that you have SoCs or chips in vehicles already on real roads around the world, real world data. Jensen says synthetic data. What do you say?
Well, synthetic data is a big thing in humanoid robotics. Why for humanoid robotics? Because each robot has different actuator types, different placement of actuators. So if you build a foundation model using some architecture of a robot, it will not generalize to other architectures. If you build a foundation model from synthetic data, you can have something that generalizes to all robots. For example, I co-founded a company in humanoid robotics, Mentee Robotics, 3 years ago. So they rely heavily on NVIDIA's physics simulators and build foundation robots from synthetic data. And you can then train dexterity, you can train pick and place of objects, grasping and so forth, just from synthetic data. With cars, it's different. With cars, all cars look alike in terms of actuations. Right? What you want to minimize is distribution drift. You don't want to train a model on some artifact that could come from synthetic data. Well, if you don't have real data, that's all what you can do. But if you have real data, then you can be more precise.
Well, I think that Jensen's argument was that the synthetic data augments the real-world data.
No, what we do at Mobileye, say, for example, we find an edge case.
Okay.
Then we go to a simulator. We have simulators. We go to a simulator and we generate many examples of that edge case. Right? But this is
a multiverse, so to speak.
A multiverse. Yes. So this is really for edge cases, but not for the kind of main
also
training of the system.
Also ridiculous that we're saying multiverse. Like, this isn't Spider-Man, this is autonomous driving. Let me just make an observation, and the team in New York, let's bring up Mobileye shares. The stock's down significantly. Is that because NVIDIA is coming out strong and saying, we want some of this autonomous driving market as well?
No, I don't think so. I think investors were expecting announcements, and we're not ready yet with announcements. I think we'll have major announcements throughout the year, but we're not ready yet. And this is a natural response for that.
But you have something to show, and that is the Volkswagen ID Buzz, the camper van, battery electric. You are working with them on a higher level of autonomy for that product. My understanding is it's in the prototype phase. However, a lot of the pieces are there to go to production, but there is no plan as it stands to firm, dry ink, go to production. Update us.
Well, no, there's a firm plan to go to production. It's end of 2026. Right now, there are about 150 vehicles driving in Hamburg and Munich and in Austin, Texas.
Testing.
Testing. But there's a firm plan to go to start off production.
That must be a really big deal for you guys.
Yes, but robotaxis is a spectrum. We build robotaxis with ID Buzz and also with Schaeffler and Vernier. We build with Audi a consumer-level autonomous car, a level 3, level 4 on highways, which will come out in 2027. And by the way, there's lots of commonality in hardware between those two. It is the same IQ, the same boards. We are developing imaging radars, both for the consumer car and for the robotaxi. So that commonality would reduce cost considerably. And we have also FSD-like systems, which we call supervision, 300,000.
FSD-like in the sense they are camera vision-based systems. So
purely camera-based. There is an optional front-facing radar, but it's purely camera-based. And it's eyes-on, means the driver is still responsible. You cannot let go of driving.
Very quick on this one. Mobileye has a broad offering in the theater of autonomous driving, robotaxi. Which specific deployment do we see first?
Well, we see the supervision. We're already deployed in China, but our next generation, which it's 95% of the focus of the company, is this next generation on the IQ6. Coming out next year, it will be on all Volkswagen Group, 18 models of the Volkswagen Group, including Porsche and Audi. That's coming out next year, 2026. And then Chauffeur, which is the level 3 autonomous driving on highways, will come 2027. Early 2027.
I have to ask you this. You are a key automotive supplier. You must be speaking with your customers and partners this week about the coming Trump administration. how do you think that's going to impact 2025 in the auto market, particularly here in North America?
Now, putting politics aside, I think it's going
politics
to be...
aside, but not policy.
Yeah, but I think from a policy point of view, it's going to be very positive. The problem with the US is that there's a patchwork of regulations, state-wise and federal-wise. If the president comes in and puts things in order at the federal level, it could promote autonomous driving considerably.
Which Elon Musk mentioned.
Exactly. So I see that very positive.